Hello and welcome to today's video. For today's video, I will be unboxing this little thing here from Grabie. This is their 2025 advent calendar. They've sent it to me to review for you guys just to see what it is like, and it is pretty big. Don't mind this. This is a burn from a candle. Here we go. How do I open this? Oh. Okay, so it's got a slide out at the top, so it's kind of in a bag. Okay, yeah, so this is like a proper bag. That's kind of cute. I've never opened an art advent calendar before, so I'm very, very excited for this. It's kind of big, honestly, it's huge. What's it say on the back? Unleash your holiday creativity with 6 fun projects. Art supplies, watercolours, colouring pads, pens and sketchbooks. Cute. Okay, let's find out. Let's roll it back around. Ooh. Okay, so it opens up. So it's kind of become like a 3D setup kind of thing. And I think you then put things in here as you go that become like buildings. There's also this. There's a chance to get a golden ticket in each one, and I guess I didn't get one. And then some drawers. Oh. Yeah, okay, so these are each of the days, and then you slot them in. Okay, so we'll do that. Pull this out. Okay, it comes all the way out. So what I'll do is I'll move this massive thing to the side. It is really heavy. And then this is what we're left with. We have to start with number 1, which isn't on this layer, I don't think. Where is it? These are so cute. Oh, they're little lampposts. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Oh, wow. Number 1 is big. Okay, what is that? Okay, so it comes with a code for days 13 to 16. Oh, okay, so this one has just fallen out of one of them, I guess. So each one comes with this card, I presume, and it explains a bit about what you just pulled out of the box. So this one is 12 sheets of watercolor colouring bookmarks. Oh, it's a reading tracker. Oh, this is cute. This is strange. And it's got this pretty little design that I've dropped. This building, and then you fold it over and it's a bookmark, but you get to paint it. That's such a cute idea. So you get one for each month of the year. April. These are so cute. Does it say who designed them? Oh, I love this one. And with the birds as well, that is so cute. And then you fold it over so it sits over your page, I assume. And then you fill in your tracker as you go. That's such a cute idea, and definitely I need it. I've been lacking on my reading lately. I've got to mention that this calendar currently on their site is $99.99, so roughly $100. Theoretically, each box should be, if you divide them equally at least, is around $4 each. Yeah, it might be that some of them are more expensive than others, so it's probably not going to be equally split, but I guess we will see. But yeah, I think that's a really cute way to start. On to day 2. Where is day 2 gone? What is it? Oh, of course, yes. So this is to go with the bookmarks we just got. That's really cute. So then on the second day, you're given the tools to colour them in. I think personally, it might have made more sense to do it the other way around. In case by this point I mean, it's only been a day, but if by this point you've already coloured them in, it might have been nice to have the watercolours first. Ooh, and it comes with a swatch sheet. Yes, you know how I feel about swatch sheets. I love them. Water brush pen. Is there one in here? Oh, it does. That's so cute. It comes with a mini one as well. And then also some little watercolor paper cards so that you can just paint straight on these. Yeah, I feel like this would have been a better day one, honestly. But that is so cute. Obviously, I'm going to be testing these out later. Yeah, really cute. That is adorable. Day 3 is one of the adorable lampposts. Ooh! You get a gold and silver acrylic marker. I usually don't like metallic paint pens, but something about getting these two together is just giving me flashbacks to being younger. So yeah, that is this project 1. Yeah, you get all 3 of them, and then you can use the code on the back, I guess, to help you a bit. So that's project 1. So I guess we'll be splitting these into their each individual projects. So that means we will be starting with this project first. I'll be going through and using each project after unboxing them. So starting with this one, I wanted to swatch out the watercolor colours to see what they look like, and obviously because I like doing that. The aqua brush pen thing is really cute. For a watercolor palette of this size, it is really handy, you know, to use it traveling. Of course though, because it is small, it does have a limited amount of water in the barrel, and I found myself running out of it quite quickly. And I also like to remove it from the tin so that I can use the base of the tin to mix colours as well if I want to. So I wanted to give this a wash base to give me the vibe I was going for. I wanted to make it kind of like cozy autumny, even though it's January. I think it's just because of when I am painting this, that is the mood I was feeling. And yeah, it was interesting. It was fun colouring in the shapes drawn for me, but they are really small, and I had quite a hard time getting all the small details because the design is printed really small so that it can fit on this bookmark, but the brush pen itself has a decent sized brush. It's kind of difficult to get into the small crevices if you're sticking with the items that you got in this box. I also thought it was kind of strange that you weren't given any watercolor pens, or not watercolor pens, sorry, but fine liners. So I busted out my own ones because, as you could see, a lot of the original line work had faded, and I wanted it to be seen, whereas the nibs on the silver and gold pens are also quite thick, so they're hard to get fine points as well, because I don't know if that's what the intention was, to use those as the line art, but I also feel like the colours can blend in a lot, especially when you're doing a colour palette like what I chose here. So yeah, I instead had to use my own fine liners, which is fine if you have them, but obviously if this is like your introduction to some of these items, I guess it is kind of awkward. I personally just feel like fine liners would have fit better than the metallic pens, but that's a personal preference, you know, because you guys know how I feel about metallic pens. I like how this turned out. I think it's really cute. The paper held up really well, especially considering like I didn't tape it down or anything, and like there's no buckling. Like, it's still really flat, it's held its shape perfectly, so this paper is really nice quality. Yeah, also, I did want to quickly mention, and I'll put it up on the screen as I'm mentioning this, but the QR code for this one, at least, is less of a colouring guide, like they say, and more of just, it's showing what the artist, or who I'm assuming the artist is, what they did with the bookmarks. So I think it's less of a guide and more of a suggestion of what you could do. Yeah, also regarding, I mentioned that I couldn't find a name of an artist anywhere. I emailed the representative who offered me to try out this box. They said that their advent calendar is fully designed by their in-house artist team, which is why you won't see individual artist credits on the box. They said that only their co-branded products created in collaboration with external creators include artist credits. I can only assume that it's completely done by their in-house artist team. I personally still find that a little odd. Again, this is my first art advent calendar, but I would always assume that artists, even if they work for you, would be credited. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but again, that's just me being nitpicky. I think you guys know by now that I'm very nitpicky, but because this is honest reviews and all that, I feel like it's always worth mentioning, and that might make me sound like really overly critical sometimes, but yeah, if you guys are thinking of buying the things that I'm showing off, I do want to give you all of my thoughts so that you're not like misguided or anything. So now we will get back to unboxing more of the advent calendar. Okay, day 4. Here we go. And it comes with another card. So this one is for making present tags. So I guess you colour them in and then you put them on your presents to give to someone. A stocking, a Christmas tree, a mitten, another ball. You get quite a few actually. Does it say how many? I mean, I can just count, can't I? 1, 2. Okay, so you get 15 of them. And I suppose you don't have to use them as a gift tag. You could also just like colour it in and then hang it on your tree if you tie these ends together. So you've just got some like decorations hanging from your tree. And we'll see what else we get for that project. So now we need 5, which is over here. We got a bunch of pens. Brush tips. What are they? They're water-based. Okay, so these are water-based colouring pens. Dual tones. So yeah, they've got a different colour on each end. You get a bunch of colours. Yellow, red, blue, green. Is this just black? And then a dark red and a dark blue. So those are for colouring in the tags. And then day 6 and 7 are also part of this project. So let's see what 6 is. Ooh. Ooh, these look different. Glitter pens. Okay, and you get a blue, green, orange, and like a teal. These look kind of nice. I really like the design of these pens. Is that weird to say? I just really like... They look kind of pretty. And then finally for day 7... Oh my lord. Some chonkers. What is this? More glitter pens. But these ones are big. Okay, so those ones were fine nibbed. And then these ones are like thick nibbed. And they're dual tipped again, so we get like a pink and a blue, a yellow and an orange. Whoa, those are some thick pens. For this project, you basically get a ton of pens and some tags to colour in. Well, we'll do that one as well. We're going to do all of the projects in this video, by the way. Okay, so before I got into actually colouring the tags themselves, I wanted to swatch out all of the pens we got because we got quite a few in this project, and I just wanted to see what all the colours were, especially because I couldn't tell with some of the water-based ones. The fine glitter gel pens were having a little trouble coming out. For the most part, I managed to get them to work after a little bit of using them, but they were a little frustrating. But the blue one was just not working. It was clogged, I can only assume. So I do actually know a little trick for this. So if you have a lighter, all you have to do is put the tip of the pen into the flame for just a couple seconds. You don't even have to do it for that long, and it should start working. This is usually because whatever is in the pen has clogged up the nib, which is why it won't move, and putting it in the flame I think like melts it or just gets it flowing again. So yeah, that was an easy solution, an easy solve. And yeah, we get quite a few nice colours, a nice range, so I just wanted to start by colouring in this bauble here. I didn't know really what to go with for this. My brain wasn't really in the Christmas mood, so I just went with some fun colours. I thought it would be nice to do a sort of like gradient thing and try and make the ball look like it was sort of glowing. And these pens blend fairly nicely, which was pleasant. It was a nice surprise. Obviously they don't blend incredibly smoothly, but they blend enough for what I needed. The blending's not so smooth, but that's fine. So I just went from like yellow out to blue, and the colours they gave were perfect for that, so that worked nicely. Then for the lines going over the top, I didn't really know what to do, so I just kind of stuck to the same idea but with the chunky pens. And I have to say, they feel less like glitter pens and more just like metallic pens. Like I can't really tell that there's glitter in them. I think the bauble ended up looking really strange. It was fun to do, but yeah. Then I wanted to do a Christmas tree just to keep it feeling Christmassy. So I'd made this one a bit more of a traditional colouring in rather than whatever the hell I did with the bauble, and just made it a green tree with a couple sparkly metallic points. And then I went over it with the fine metallic pens just to give it a little bit more texture, just to make it look a bit more interesting, but I think it just made it look a bit splotchy, so maybe that was a mistake. And then I went back to the bauble and used the pens to just clean up the line work a little bit, because it had gone over the lines and it was looking kind of messy. So yeah, that is what I did with these. So yeah, as I said, I don't really feel like they look like glitter pens, more so than just like metallic pens. Is it just because I don't use metallic pens that often? Like I can't tell the difference. But yeah, I only ended up colouring in these two. There are quite a lot of cards here that you could use to colour in, so that's really nice that they give you such a big range to use. And yeah, I think the colours are quite nice. I just used them in a really weird way. Like, I have no idea why I did this. Why did I try and make it into like a magical ball? But I guess it's interesting at least. I think I prefer the tree because it just looks more normal. I guess we will move on to the next project now. Okay, so now we're on day 8, which is this one. Got a card. What is this? Oh my gosh. It's like a tiny little... Oh, that did not focus. Focus. There you go. It's a tiny little sketchbook. Oh, that is tough. So it's just got these little like pages. It's so tiny. I love the green. The green is so nice. It's a marker pad, apparently. That is so adorable. It's so tiny. Day 9. Let's see what goes with the marker pad. I would assume markers. Of some sort, at least. Ooh, fine liners. You get them in a 0.5 and a 0.3, but I guess, like, are they good, you know? These are black. Yep. Cool. Okay, I wonder if they're, like, waterproof, because that would be really good. Day 10 now, which is over here. Ooh, this one's, like, a little chunky. Ooh! Alcohol markers. There we go, that's what I wanted to test. Okay, so we get a grey, an orange and a green. Kind of strange colours. I guess they feel more Halloween than Christmas. Yeah, I don't really know what Christmassy I could do with these. But I guess we'll find out. I'll experiment with them. See if the marker pad can take it. And also see if those pens are like waterproof. Because if they're waterproof, then usually that means they can also take alcohol markers over the top of them. So we will see. And then we've also got 11 and 12 for this project. This card that they give, it tells you which days are part of the whole project, which I think is pretty cute. It's pretty handy. Oh, we get more markers. Okay. So we get the primaries in this one, which is good. I love the primaries. You always need the primaries. Okay, cool. So we've got 6 alcohol markers so far. For day 12, we get some more glitter pens. So glitter gel pens. So you get a blue, silver, I'm assuming that's gold, and like a pink. Okay. Ooh. Might have been nice to get something else considering we've already gotten quite a few like glitter pens and stuff, but yeah. I guess they want you to use these for this project. So yeah, we got a ton of pens. We got 6 alcohol markers, 4 glitter pens, 2 fine liners, and a little marker pad. So yeah, I guess we'll come up with something for that. Okay, so I was actually pretty excited to start this project. Something about the little book, I was just really eager to use it. So I also wanted to use it to swatch everything out, obviously to see how it all looks, but also to see how it works in this book. Like, is this book any good? So I started by swatching the fine liners, and I did a little bit extra in the top corner so that I could see how the alcohol markers would layer over it when I get to that point. I was really impressed that nothing bled through onto the other side of the page. It's really nice paper, apparently. I then did the test over the fine liner, and as you can see, it unfortunately smudged. So I decided to do another bit at the bottom of the page, and I was going to leave that 24 hours to see how it would work after it had been properly dried. In the meantime, I wanted to sketch something on the other page. This is what I was going to be drawing using all of these items, and it is a tiger. I don't know why, but I was really in the mood to just draw a tiger. And so I sketched it out with pencil first, as you can see. Then I lightly erased all of the pencil so that I could go over it again with the fine liners. Both sizes that they gave are pretty perfect for this size sketchbook, so that's really nice. Yeah, so then I waited 24 hours and I used the alcohol marker again, and it still smudged. Like, I don't understand, because the pens are labelled on the card as waterproof. So the fact that they are smudging with the alcohol marker makes me think that they perhaps aren't waterproof, because it doesn't say it on the pen but it says it on the card, so it's a bit odd. So I was a bit worried because I wanted to colour over the tiger, but I rubbed out the excess pencil marks on the tiger, which actually removed a layer of the pen, which worked in the pen's favour, because now that that top layer was gone, I could actually layer over the alcohol markers without smudging the line art, which is a little weird. I don't know that that's intended for how you're meant to do it, but it is a workaround, so I guess it does work. But I just don't understand, like, are they actually waterproof, or is this a fluke that I managed to make work? But I went with a limited colour palette for the tiger. I just did a base layer of yellow and then layered up the orange and the red, just keeping it simple, which I think really worked for it. And then to give it some contrast, I used the blue as a background, because blue and orange are complementary colours. I think it looks really nice. I then went over all the lines again with the line art, just to make it properly black again since it had faded. And yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I didn't end up using the gel pens because I just didn't know how to make it work, and as I've mentioned a million times by now, I don't like glitter gel pens. I just don't like glitter pens. So considering I was at a point where I really liked the tiger, I just decided to leave it. And I'm just really happy with how it turned out. I think this little book is really cute, and the novelty of it is just, I really like it. It's got really nice quality paper, and it actually makes me wonder if they've got any like proper bigger sized sketchbooks, because if they do and it's with this paper, like, that's pretty good. Like, I'd be really interested in that. Oh yeah, so as you can see here, the pen doesn't say waterproof anywhere on it, but the card, as I showed earlier, does. So I'm now like, is it? Because it kind of isn't. It's kind of not waterproof. It's still smudging, so... But yeah, I quite liked this project. I think so far this one has been my favourite just because it's given me more free reign to do what I want to do as well. We will now get back to more unboxing onto the next project. So we are now halfway through. I will put these in here. So we're now on day 13, which is this box here. It's one of the bigger ones. Oh, okay. Ooh, I believe these are the Shrinky Dink ones, which comes with this card that fell out earlier. Pre-cut shrink. And they come with these, the ball clasp keychain things, which I think is really nice because they could have just sent them on their own, but they included these as well. And they're in different colours as well, which is really sweet. So you get these, which you colour them, and then you stick them in the oven, or I guess you can use a heat gun, but I don't have a heat gun, so I think the oven works. And these are just some really cute designs. I haven't seen any like artists credited anywhere. I'm gonna have to check the packaging later, but yeah, I'm just surprised the artists aren't being credited. But I would expect like these little cards to also include the name of whoever designed like these things, or with the bookmarks. I don't know. But yeah, you get some cute designs. I think this one's probably my favourite, just the robot. Okie dokie. So I'm assuming we'll get things to colour them with. Here's 14. Ooh. Okay, so these are acrylic pens. So we get them in the primary colours as well as green. Day 15 is this cute little pink building. Let's see, what else would they include? Okay, more acrylic markers. These ones are in black and white. Day 16. Ooh, big chonkers again. I love these big pens, they are so fun. Okay, more glitter pens. Okay, so we keep getting like glitter pens, which, I don't know. Although, I guess, yeah, these are a different nib, so maybe that's just me being fussy. I'm not the biggest fan of like glitter pens and stuff, so I noticed when there were lots of them. That's it for this project, which is project number 4. You basically get 6 acrylic markers, 2 glitter pens, and then, if I could pick them up, 8 Shrinky Dink thingies. Again, it comes with the card that just explains it with the code on the back. Nice. Okay, so this was another one that I was really looking forward to doing. I have never really done Shrinky Dink stuff before. I've seen people do it online, and when I was younger, like my friends used to do it all the time, but I never really did it. So I was really looking forward to getting to do that for myself, and I was really in love with this little robot design. So I just wanted to stick with some simple colours for each of the design. I didn't want to go too crazy overboard. So I stuck with making him basically a yellow robot with just red and blue highlights or accents. And then because I had watched the video for the QR code that came with this project, and I saw that the person who was doing the video coloured around the edges of the design as well, I was like, that's a really nice idea. I really like how they look with the coloured edges. I'm gonna do that too. So I did that for all of the ones that you will see in this video. For this little chick one, I also wanted to add not too much, but a little bit of shading, and I also gave him some tired eyes, and I just did a little bit more layering with this one. So I also put like a pattern on the scarf. Because of this, I wanted to make sure that it was all dry, so I did leave him to dry before moving on to the third one, which is this teddy bear here that for whatever reason I had the inspiration to make him Monokuma. And that made me very excited to see how he would end up in the end as well. So I don't know why I did that, but I'm really glad that I did. I think he looks really funny. Now I guess I have Monokuma merch. So yes, after colouring him in, I went back to the chick and just gave the final layer of yellow and then white over the scarf. I wanted to try and give them all a different outline colour, so I went with the metallic for this one, metallic pink. And then also one of the designs is this kind of like motivational thing that says enjoy every moment, and I just wanted to put flames over it. I didn't want it to be extremely neat, I wanted it to look like there were flames behind the words, and then I went over it with a purple. Unfortunately, it's just not that clear. I think I should have done a different design. I then put them in the oven, and unfortunately they all came out kind of wonky and scuffed, which is annoying. I followed the directions that were in the video like exactly, but I think the problem might be they used a mini electric oven, and my oven is a very old gas oven, which I think means that all the heat dispersion or whatever was uneven, so they came out a little funky. And yeah, I was really upset by this because like I said, I was excited to do this, and then my oven I think just messed up in the end. So I think this would be a really nice fun project if your oven doesn't do what mine did. And we tried to flatten them as soon as they came out the oven, but it just wouldn't work. I think that's a fault on my part, which really sucks because I really wanted this little robot guy. Also, the backs of them, they leave a mess when you like drop them. Like maybe it's hard to see now because I think I've gotten most of it off, but the backs of them are like flaking off a bit because the paint has like dried. Oh yeah, now it's on my thumb. The paint has dried up and it comes off very easily. I think you definitely need to seal the backs of them so that also the colours don't scratch off, because they do leave a mess otherwise, and also they just don't feel very nice to touch. I also tried to colour match each of the keychains, and I think that just made it extra cute. As you can see, I also did these two extra that I didn't film in the video, and that's because I just wanted to add 2 more to put in the oven. But yeah, it's a really nice idea, and I think if you can get it to work, it would be really fun. But for now, we'll just move on to the next project. 17 is this one. Right, let's see. This is the next project. Oh, we get another little book. This time it's red. Oh, and it's dotted. Oh, that's cute. So it's just like the green one, but it's red, and it still doesn't want to focus. Oh, come on. There we go. So just like the green one, but it's red and it's dotted instead. So I guess we'll see what this one's about. Day 18. Let's see. Ooh. These are gel pens, and they come with erasers on the end, so you can like rub out what you've done. Oh, and you twist it. Oh, that's really satisfying. I believe they come in the colours that are on the barrel. So this is feeling like a bit of a journal project. 19, let's see, another cute little pink building. Ooh. This is a note-taking pen. It looks like it has a highlighter on one end, and then on the other end, a very fine nib. Wow, that is tiny. And you get it in blue and green. Okay, day 20. Color Magic erasers. Not razors, these aren't erasers. Markers, Color Magic markers. These are the layering ones, so I think they have an effect when you layer them over each other. So I think how it works is like you put one end down and then you put the other colour over the top, and it shows as vibrantly as if the other one wasn't even there. Very interesting. Yeah, this one's to do with expressing your ideas. Creative countdown. I really like how tiny these books are. I think that's adorable. And yeah, again, just a code on the back. Right, okay, so again for this one, I wanted to start by swatching all of the pens in the book itself. I did actually start by trying to use the eraser on the gel pens, but I think because they were still kind of wet, it wasn't working, so I think you have to let them dry to do that. And then with the Colour Magic layering markers, I don't know what happened. Like the green one and the pink one worked perfectly, as you can see here, even though the green was still wet. But then when I did it with the purple and the orange, it kind of didn't work. The orange just wasn't doing what it was supposed to do, which is look as vibrant as the pink does on the green. And I did leave it to dry for a bit, and it still wasn't really working. I think it does maybe a bit later look a bit better, but I don't know. I think that's because I then put more layers over it. And then as you can see here, I am using the eraser for the gel pens, and it's just working really nicely and smoothly, and it gives you this really nice clean line. As I wrote in the book, I do think the colour choices are a little odd. For me personally, I don't think they all go together very well. But yeah, anyway, moving on, I am sketching a heron because I'm not a bullet journaler. I don't do journaling, so I wanted to draw with them instead. And I sketched with the erasable pen because then I could erase some of the guidelines, which worked really, really nicely. I then used the highlighters and the magical layering markers to colour it in a bit. This is a green heron, and then it just has some pink highlights, which I think looks really, really nice. Like, it gives it kind of a toxic look, but I mean, I think it works still. And I was really happy with how it just works together, and the pink is so vibrant. I then went and used the orange end of the purple magical marker as a background because I thought that would look really nice in contrast. Then went and added some extra line art to the bird, and yeah, very simple one, but I really, really like how it looks. As you can see, the orange has kind of shown up a bit more on the purple, like not crazy, but I also did these lines down here. So it's been a while since I did those, so they should be 100% dry. So I'm just going to test it now to see if it will work better. It's just not working the same way as the pink. What if I do multiple? It kind of does... I don't know. It kind of works, as you can see. It's just nowhere near as clean as the pink one was for some reason. This one is more of a journaling project, which, like I said, I don't really do. The pens and stuff still really work well if you're wanting to use them for art. I really like how the bird turned out. Weird colours for sure, but I actually, like I said, really like it. I think working with the limited colour palette made it like a fun challenge. So now let's get back to unboxing the next project. Okay, so we're in the last 4 now. It's just these ones. So I'm assuming they're one project. So let's start with 21. What is this? Oh, these are magnets. Like a canvas material on one side and then a magnet on the other. So you can just like make a little portrait and stick it on your fridge or something. 22. More acrylic pens. These are dual tipped, which means each end, or yeah, dual tipped, dual toned. Each end comes with a different colour. So we've got blue, light blue, orange, yellow, green, dark green, and red and pink. That's very cute. Gives you a nice range to do on the magnets. 23 is the last one of this project, so 24 is something else entirely. Okay, so what's 23? Oh, 2 more. 2 more acrylic pens, so you get... Oh, They are acrylic pens, but they're dot nib and fine nib. Okay, so you get a black and a brown. So you get this fine nib and then a dot nib on the other end. Can you see that? Interesting. Okay. So that's what you get for these. I really love the idea of the magnet canvas, and here is the card for it. So before I started actually working on the magnets, I once again wanted to swatch out the pens to see what colours we're working with. So I went back to the green book from the earlier project and just listed them in there. And I really like the colours. I think they're really nice. You get a nice range. It's kind of a rainbow, it's just missing purple. I was excited to start this project. I'm in a very animal mood for this video, so I am sketching a barn owl here. I love barn owls and I think they might be my favourite bird, so I'm taking this opportunity to draw an owl, and I'm just sketching straight onto the canvas with the acrylic pens because they're acrylic pens, so they layer over each other really easily. So I thought, why not just sketch with it, because then if I make any mistakes I can just cover it up. So as you can see, it is currently a blue owl, and I've been adding just some pink as kind of shading. Because of the colours they gave you, I just wanted to be really creative with how colourful it is. Like, it's not an ordinary colour palette for an owl, but I think I tried to stick with the tones of a barn owl, which helps make it work, I think. And then I also wanted to give him a little sparkle headpiece because it's just combining two of my favourite things, owls and sparkles. So I just really like how that looked. I'm also just layering up a bunch of other colours. So we've got some red and yellow, and it all is kind of mixing to create quite a nice look, I feel. And then I also wanted the background to be the same blue as the bird. Not sure why, but I just thought it would look nice. The red outline helped it stand out and break it apart from the background, with then a blue border because I kind of wanted it to look kind of magical, like a magical storybook vibes. Then also to help it stand out from the background, I used one of the greens, which was quite a muted green, which really helped because it gives it kind of like a sage vibe. I added a couple sparkles, changed the blue in the border to pink, which really helped it tie into the pink on the bird again. And then I added an extra outline to give it more of a solid outline definition to the actual canvas itself, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. This again was really fun to do with the limited colours, but because you are given like the primary colours as well as a few secondary colours, I think it just, I don't know, I think it was just really, I think it just made for a good combination. I didn't end up using the black or the brown, but I think that's fine. If I'd used them, I feel like I would have ruined this, whereas at the moment, I really like where it's at. Again, I love the idea that it is on a magnet, so you can just make this little portrait piece and just stick it to your fridge or whatever. I'm really happy with how this turned out because I love owls. Now we will move on to the last day and we will see what is in that box. Okay, so now it's just this lone little lamppost, the last one. So I guess we'll see what this is. I assumed it was going to be part of the other project, but it's not. So what? Last Day Wonder Drop. We're excited to announce the launch of our brand new dual tone highlighters on day 24. As one of the first to experience these vibrant highlighters, you'll be able to add colour to your notes during office work, study sessions or creative projects with ease. Thank you for joining us on this crafting adventure. Let's finish strong with these delightful highlighters. Duo Mark highlighter set of 2. I think they're just highlighters. Oh, how do I get the lid off? How do I get the lid off? Okay, so you get a pink and a green, but they're supposed to be used a certain way. And then you get a yellow and an orange. Oh, and I got pink all over it. Okay, so I guess I'll try these out. This is the last, it's not even really a project really, but I wanted to do something with them anyway. These are just highlighters. So what I did is I went back to the green book again and I swatched each of the colours out, and once again I'm still in the animal mood, so I wanted to draw another tiger. This is kind of becoming the tiger book. So I sketched it out initially with the yellow highlighter because it is the lightest colour, then went over it with the orange one for the line art, then went back and filled it all in with the yellow so you can't see the original like guidelines, construction lines or whatever. Then I went and layered over the orange as the darker part of the tiger and used the green to add in the stripes, and I was surprised by how much I actually liked how this was looking. Because they are highlighters, when they layer over each other they obviously affect what the colour looks like, which I think gave quite a nice gradient vibe, in that when the green was layering over the yellow it looked very green, but then when it went over the orange it got significantly darker, and I was just surprised that I really liked how the green was looking with this. I then also wanted to include the pink, so I gave him these lines as if he is roaring or whatever. This is something I've been doing a lot with my art lately. I just really like how it looks and it gives it a sort of poster vibe. I also think the colours look really nice together, so yeah, I'm quite happy with how this turned out. I do have to say though, I find it strange that the last day is just highlighters. Like, this is the day before Christmas. It's like the day that I feel like you've been working up to almost. Like, obviously each day is fun to open on its own and it's its own product or project, but I don't know, I personally would have expected something else for the day before Christmas. These are just highlighters that I guess you just get two different colours in one pen. I do think the packaging for them is kind of cute. Like, it gives it an inky, like, kind of gives it Splatoon vibes for me, but I don't really play Splatoon, so maybe they actually don't. I really like how the tiger turned out though, and these are very vibrant colours. So now I'm going to go on to the box itself a bit, and then we will go on to a conclusion wrap up of all my thoughts. So let's move on to that. So like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, one of the other things that this advent calendar can do is, like, it becomes a cityscape. And I don't know how it's meant to fold in, because these just keep... Oh, hang on. It's staying now. They kept coming out, which was a little frustrating. And the idea is to slot the buildings in each of the days. I've already done a couple, but I will just finish up with the last of them now. Ah, yeah, there you go. Like, it keeps falling over. So I'll pick it back up at the end when I'm done. Okay, it's kind of staying. So you get like this really cute cityscape, which I think is really cute because it means you have this Christmas decoration when you're done with it. And I mean, I guess you could always start with them in this position as well. You could then like find the day as and when you need it, and you can have this decoration up all month. I like it. I think it's cute. I just wish the backing card would stay up a bit better. Now that we have unboxed everything and used everything, I just want to give like some of my final thoughts on the entire box and the items that came with it. To start, I want to say that like my overall vibe for it is that it feels more like a stationery advent calendar than it does like an actual art calendar. Like it's presented in art projects, which I think is very helpful for the art side of it. But ultimately, it does just feel like a load of stationery. And I think because of that, the standout items are the watercolor travel set that you get, because it is very different, because it's mostly just pens otherwise. And then also the canvas board magnets, which I really, really like, and I think ended up being my favourite project of the entire box. I think the order of some of the items are a little strange, which I know that I mentioned previously in the video, but I'm bringing up again here, that for each of the projects, or for most of the projects, it feels a bit odd that the first day that you open for that project is the item that needs colouring in, as opposed to one of the items used for colouring in. Because in my mind, I'm like, if you're challenging yourself to only use the items given to you in the box, then you can't really do anything with that first day, that project's first day, because you'll be waiting for the item to colour it in. For example, the very first day, it are the bookmarks. So if you want to colour them in, you either have to wait a whole day to do that, because the next day will be the watercolours, or you can use your own items to colour it in, but then there's no guarantee that what you use is going to match what the next days are. I also think because of that, the project cards should come in the very last day of the project, so that it doesn't spoil you for what the next days are going to be. I just think it would be more fun that way. I'm not sure if that makes sense. That's just like my personal view on how this kind of thing should be presented. So I am being very nitpicky here, as I mentioned earlier, that I have been doing throughout this whole video. And don't get me wrong, I do think this has been like a lot of fun. Just there have been a lot of things about it that personally aren't for me, which I think is like part of the point of advent calendars, is that it's gonna be a bit of a gamble. You don't know what you're buying. It is a surprise. So you do run the risk that there will be items in it that you don't like. So for me, personally, all of the glitter pens are items that I personally would not buy. So they kind of, the amount of them in this advent calendar is just a little overwhelming. So if you are someone who loves glitter pens, you might really, really love how many they give you in this calendar. But yeah, you run the risk of, if you don't like glitter pens, you're gonna get a lot of glitter pens. I think each of the projects was really fun and like interesting. They were relatively different to each other, except of course I think the books, getting 2 of the books, are very similar. And I think the whole bullet journaling aspect really does push it more towards the stationery vibes again, as opposed to the art vibes. I think everything was really high quality though. Everything was so nice. My only issue was with the fine liner pens, because they were listed as waterproof when they very clearly were not. So yeah, I think that's mostly it for my thoughts. I'd be really curious to know what you guys think of this. I again have never ever opened an art advent calendar before, so I don't know what the standard is. But if any of you have, I would really love to know like how this compares to ones that you've opened, and just your general thoughts on all the items here. And honestly, really, please tell me if I have been like too harsh. I'd really like to know, like, because as I mentioned, I am deliberately being overly critical, because I want you guys to know my genuine thoughts on everything that is in this box, for the sake of being just 100% honest. If you are interested in grabbing this for yourself and trying out these items as well, or getting them as a gift for someone for Christmas, for December, the links to this calendar are in the description below. I have a personalized link, so if you use that will help me and help the channel out a little bit with no extra cost to you. I want to say a massive thank you to Grabie for sending me this calendar to review. I also want to say a massive thank you to everyone watching this video, especially if you've made it this far and you've stuck around. Thank you so much. And also, as always, a huge thank you to my patrons: Disby, Finn Carter, Grimclow, The Waffle of Life, Non-Toxic, Saint Nix, LP, Kira May, Kay, Joanna, Mila, Pretty Rotten, R.A. Foxy, Joanna Snake Moon, Humble Frogs, Local Fishkeeper, Mould Ghoul, Farrarware, Sun Arts, Molly Marula, Scout Radley, Sammy Bear 127, Kenzania, Arrow, Charlie, Malorus, Cindy King, Art by Lavender, Angel of the Woods, Rainbow Tea, Breaded Nuggets, Learns, Humani, The Mothbug, Nox, Catbird House, The Tormented Shadow, Sweet and Hopeless, Pocket, Jordan's Tiny Planet, The Coffee Rain, Black Jackal Art, Leela Loves You, Faith, A. Wendu, Koza Scobbs, Wolf and Wares, Ronnie, Olivia Gadbor, Heather F., Cheris Needham, Rotting Lettuce, Binixery, Cyrus Orion, Lolo, Mottled Pixel, Malbon Designs, Gamut Girl, Dodo, Catberry Studio, Solar Tortoise, Auden, Red S Lily, Hayley, Sienna G, Lady Ratbird, Fia, Greenfinch G Illustration, Lynn, Cody, Pobbles, Kaleidoscope Arm, Cloud, Cleo, Redders, Ziutka, Chelsea Amazon, Beetle Ghost, Artsy Ghost, Melisandra Sinclair, Bria Washington, Hurrier, June, Dakota Garcia, Elithra, Manon, Lily Likes Art, Rona, I Am a Yertle, Levi, Kira's Cozy Corner, Tink, Daniel McGuinness, Janine, Dios Live, Ella Chenshuo, K2, Flossie, August, Stegosaurus, Yoinks, Soundly Manners, Stoyen, Bleety, Chloe, Starry Fern, Kiki, Nuclear Nail Bomb, Brianna, P. Right Stuff, Raig Norby, JGP, Spaceman Theo, Slurp, and Nosebridge. Thank you guys so much for all of your support, and I will have another video out for you all soon, so I will see you then.